Hi everyone, this is Liam McMahon. It's Monday, April 1st. This is the video closing print. I'm doing a video today because we had relatively boring price action, honestly, during the US session. Not surprising considering the European holiday. So not a lot to report in the traditional sense, so I thought I'd use the time to go through some yen pair divergence and talk about what that might mean ahead of the Bank of Japan meeting later this week. But first, the traditional closing print information. U.S. equities finished red today. The Dow closing down 6 points. The Nasdaq losing 29 and the S&P losing 7. The Nasdaq was the big loser today. The Dow really finished essentially flat, as the ISM index was worse than expected. But stocks really did rally off their lows in the last hour or so, and really contained the damage fairly well, considering mostly sideways price action today across the board. The Aussie was mostly sideways ahead of tonight's RBA meeting. Keep in mind that is at 11:30 Eastern time tonight. Expected to keep rates on hold at 3%. So the commentary will be important. I expect the RBA to be mostly neutral today, not make any sort of dramatic policy swings or make any sort of drastic changes to the rate statement, which means market reaction will be key. Without guidance, we'll have to see how the market chooses to interpret the RBA's words, especially if they're not going to say anything particularly different. So watch that reaction. The half hour after the release will be very telling. That's about it for the traditional closing print. So take a moment, pause the recording, read the risk disclaimer. We'll run through a couple yen pairs, and we'll call it a day. All right. Let's start with Aussie yen because again we have the RBA tonight, so it seems like an appropriate place to start. Aussie yen was given a perfectly good opportunity to rally higher, setting up in this sideways consolidation pattern above its recent highs, looking for a strong move higher. We didn't get that move. Instead, we broke down below the bottom of the flag or pennant or whatever you want to call it. And we've headed lower. We actually just put in a 4-hour close here below this 200 period EMA here on the 4-hour chart. We are also trading below the 50 and 100 period EMAs as well. Those two moving averages combined with this trend line give an excellent selling opportunity on rallies back up towards 98. So if the reaction to the RBA is somewhat Aussie bullish, we get a quick 80 pip rally. 98 would be a good opportunity to try and establish shorts for a move basically down to test here this 50-day EMA at 96.31, and then eventually this cloud top trading basically around 95.60. So Aussie yen looks mostly bearish. The next trade is certainly a sell trade on a rally here or a breakdown further towards this cloud bottom. Dollar yen, this is a daily chart of dollar yen, also bearish. Strong red candle today. Of course, dollar yen suffering the most on that ISM miss, which is not surprising. And right now we put in a close here below this trend line. We do have 2/3 of potential head and shoulders, but obviously hard to anticipate a head and shoulders at this point. It's merely one possibility that I've left on my chart. What's definitely the case is we hit a strong daily candle here closing below this supporting trend line. So rallies back up to 93.80 could be a great selling opportunity for a move down to 92.50 if not lower. These previous swing lows here, basically 90.80, will be important for dollar yen. So Aussie yen, dollar yen both look bearish. On the other hand, CAD yen, here's the 4-hour chart. Yes, there's a double top possibility, but until we get below 88.50 or so, I'm not going to get that excited about it. Really, CAD yen reacting well off support here. It's trading here in this descending wedge, which is arguably a bullish signal, especially if we can break above this topside trend line. It's well supported here by its 50-day EMA as well as this trend line and cloud top. So CAD yen relatively constructive down here. Euro yen, this is the daily chart of euro yen, also relatively constructive so long as we hold these previous lows, basically 118.80 or so. These previous lows, as long as they hold, give us an opportunity to rally back up to the 123.50 area to test the top of this triangle consolidation for eventually some more maybe consolidation before another break higher. So we do have some divergence in the outlook of yen pairs as Aussie yen and dollar yen begin to look more bearish, while CAD yen and euro yen still appear constructive here on the 4-hour and 4-hour chart on CAD yen and daily chart on euro yen. So what that basically means is that this Bank of Japan meeting later this week will be very important for yen pairs, and this divergence will likely be resolved one way or another. Something to keep in mind, though, going forward is the opportunity for hedging various yen pairs against each other, and also keeping in mind the effect of that it may have on other crosses. So if CAD yen looks relatively bullish and AUD yen looks bearish, that would mean Aussie CAD should also look bearish to you. So those are the sort of things you want to keep in mind here as we begin to get some, finally get some differences in the yen pairs. It's been a while since we've had that, so they're worth watching going into the meeting later this week. First, we have to get through the RBA tonight, so keep that in mind. 11:30 Eastern Time, about 5 hours from when I'm recording this. So you want to keep your eye on all the Aussie crosses going into tonight, especially that Aussie yen. All right, so I hope you enjoyed your video closing print, and I will talk to you guys soon, tomorrow morning. Have a great night.